Today I'm going to show you my cube collection as of early 2020. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can be notified of upcoming videos. Alright, so first we're going to start off with our 2x2s. So, I have two 2x2s, they have stayed the same. So first we have the GAN 249V2M, which is currently my main 2x2. And then we have this budget 2x2 that I got in a pack, and I currently use it to try to learn blind, even though I haven't really practiced it lately. So these are my two 2x2s. So now let's go into 3x3s. Alright, so here we have our 3x3s. So as you can see, we have 11 3x3s. So this is definitely a lot more than I had last year or the previous years, and I definitely got a lot of 3x3s this year. So let's first start off with the mini cubes that I have. So this is just a mini Penrose cube, which is, if you don't know, is a 3x3 shape mod. I just decided to put in here because I'm doing my other three mini like keychain kind of cubes. So yeah, so this is just a really fun puzzle. The keychain did break, but it's still just a really small and fun to play with cube, just because of how small and tiny it is. Also, we then have this super small, it's the Rubik's World's smallest Rubik's Cube, I believe. Yeah, it's definitely not the world's smallest, there are definitely one smaller than it, but Rubik's apparently claims that it is. So yeah. So it's definitely really small. It's almost as big as one QB, but it's a little bit wider. It's probably around 25 millimeters, maybe a little less than that. But yeah, so this is one of my small 3x3s. My next smallest is this one, which I won from like an arcade game. I don't remember where I got it from, but it's a little bit bigger than the last one, but it's also made by Rubik's. And then finally, I have this dollar store Party City Rubik's Cube that a teacher actually got me one year. So yeah, so this is, it turns relatively well. There is no corner cutting, however. There's a little bit of reverse, but it's relatively pretty fun to mess with sometimes, but the color shades are really weird. Now on to the regular size 3x3s, so let's start over here. So this one, I believe, is the Christmas, yeah, this is the Christmas cube from Speed Cube Shop. So if you don't know, every holiday they usually have their, it's just a Yushin red cube, but then they give it their own sticker scheme, and then it comes with some lube that also comes with it. So this one I got some candy cane lube. When you put it in, it sounds relatively well. It does feel kind of cheap, however, but it's still really fun to play with, and the color scheme is pretty neat. Then we have just a regular cheese sail, which I have just because I'm going to use it for making mods. Then we have the Yuxin Little Magic. It is not magnetic, but it's pretty good besides the stickers. I definitely recommend it as a good budget cube. Then we have another Chi cube. This is just going to be my autograph cube, and as you can see, it's signed by Kevin Hayes. This is also another Chi cube. This is my blind cube, even though I don't really practice blind that much, but if I ever get into it, this is the cube I would use. Now, let's get into my two Bluetooth cubes. So this one, first up, as you can hear, is the Geiger cube. Because it is so loud, because the magnets are extremely loud, as you can tell, this is the Geiger cube. Definitely a fun cube. It has some tweaks to it. I mean, all Bluetooth Rubik's Cubes these days have some problems, but it's relatively good. And then we have the GAN I, which is a lot better, even though the turning isn't as good as GAN usually has it. The turning is relatively okay. The programs has some bugs, but it's definitely cool, but I don't recommend it for the price. Finally, we come into my first main, which is the GAN 356SM. I don't know what this cube actually feels like these days, but yeah, so this is the GAN SM, which is my first main. Now it's pretty much dead, and it's super slow. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Now let's move into the GAN RS that I made. This is the GAN RSM. Definitely a really good puzzle. After doing a bunch of solves, the matte finish has kind of glossied up, and it's definitely just a really fun puzzle to use, and I love the magnetic strength on it. Then let's go into the cube that I got for free, the GAN X. Y'all know this one if y'all watch my video. This one I got for free just because they messed up my order, and so I ended up getting to keep it. So this is a PVC coated Supernova GAN X. And then finally for 3x3s, my current main, the GAN XS. So this was the cube that I should have gotten, and they accidentally gave me the X. Definitely a really good cube, highly recommend it, super customizable, and definitely one of the best currently on the market. Now let's get into 4x4. Alright, so here we have my 4x4s. So first, this cube is the V Cube 4 that my friend actually gave to me. The V Cubes suck at turning, don't buy them, but hey, it's definitely a really fun puzzle, and I will always have this puzzle, and I will keep it for as long as possible because I can always remember how I got this cube. Then here comes my first, you can say, Speed Cube 4x4. It worked for a while until I started getting too fast for it, and it just became super poppy, and eventually broke a corner, and that's when I got this one, which is my current main, the GAN 460M 4x4. Now, I recently set this up, and it is super good, although there may be some better 4x4s on the market these days. I just know that I got this just because I'm a GAN fanboy, and so that's why I use it, and I just haven't gotten to get a new main since there hasn't really been that many good 4x4s recently. So let's get into my two 5x5s. Alright, so here we have my two 5x5s. So first up, this is the first 5x5 that I ever got. This was my main for a really long time, and this was what I first learned how to solve a 5x5 on, but it has recently, it's just gotten really slow and sluggish just because just use and whatnot, and then also it's not magnetic and super flexible. So then I upgraded to the Moyu Aochuang a little shortly after, and this has been my main ever since. I would like to get the Volk or maybe the MGC 5x5, but currently this is my main, and I haven't really upgraded it since. Alright, so now let's move on to 6x6 and 7x7 since I only have two of them. So this is my 6x6, which is my current main, and this is the X-Man Shadow M 6x6, and then this is the Haze 7M. I definitely recommend the MGC 6x6 is better than this one nowadays, but this is still a really good 7x7, and they're both really good, and I definitely recommend them. This one is just a little bit slower, more controllable, but does pop sometimes. The MGC, however, is a whole lot faster. So now let's get on to my side. Alright, so here are my side events. So first I'm going to go up with, this is the X-Man V2 sculpted Mega Minx, and this is actually my backup Mega Minx to my GAN Mega Minx, which I have right here. This is a really fast Mega Minx. And then we have my X-Man Bell Pure Minx. This is the only Pure Minx I own. This is the Speed Cube Shop Cosmic X-Man Wingy Scube. And then we have two square ones. Sometimes I like the X-Man, sometimes I like this Chi one better. So sometimes it just feels on how what I feel like for that day. They're definitely both really good. The X-Man has a better slice feeling, but this one, however, is a little bit faster on the top. I don't know what this one was because there's a bunch of them. Definitely good cubes, and I don't really practice square one that much anyway. So now we're going to get on to my in-by-in puzzles. Alright, so here are my in-by-in puzzles. So I have two that are bigger than the 7x7. First, we have this 9x9. It is not very good, and as you can see, I just popped it, so I'll have to fix that later. And then we have the Meilong 11x11. I love this puzzle. It is relatively small. It's not extremely large like some 11x11s are today. This puzzle is super fast and super clean and crisp, and I really love it for an enjoyable solve. Now, let's get on to my non-WCA cubes. Alright, so first I'm going to start out with my geared non-WCA puzzles. So this is the Mefrit's Gear Egg, which I still have not solved or even tried to solve, and I probably never will. I just have it for showcase. Definitely a really cool puzzle when solved and scrambled, but it is definitely a hard puzzle, and I have no clue how to solve it, and I probably will never learn. Then we have the regular, this is just a 3x3 gear cube. I don't know what brand, a friend actually gave this to me. As you can see, a sticker has fallen off. Definitely a really easy puzzle, definitely good for beginners. You only have to learn one algorithm, which is super easy to learn. It's like 2 moves. And then we have the Minxs gear ball, which is actually harder than the gear cube, but it's actually fairly simple. You only have to learn 2 algorithms. One of them is the same as the regular 3x3. And yeah, overall it's a really fun puzzle. It turns really well. Definitely worth it. And then finally, we have my giant gear cube. Now, this one actually has the same solution as the gear ball. As you can see, this is colored and these edges are colored, whereas on the 3x3, there's not color. So you actually have to fix these edges on these 2 cubes, which is what makes this cube, the 3x3 gear cube, a lot easier. Definitely a really fun puzzle. I don't use it that often, however, just because of how ginormous it is. And just for comparison, this is my 11x11. And this is a 3x3, so it's about a 2x2 of 3x3s wide. So these are my non-WCA gear puzzles. So now let's get on to my mega. So I have 3 Mega Minxs puzzles. This is the 2x2 Mega Minxs, and then I have the Giga Minxs, which is basically a 5x5. It's definitely really fun. This one doesn't turn as well. It's a little hard, but I mean, what do you expect? It's a 5x5 Mega Minxs. It's pretty awesome just to even look at. This one turns relatively well. It's a little slow, easy to control. And then this one is actually the Ready Minxs, which is where it's just a corner twister. Pretty easy to solve and definitely really fun. Alright, so now onto my so-called Minxes. So this is the 2x2 Pyramid Minxs, which shape shifts. And then this is just the jelly version of that cube. Then I've got the 4x4 Master Pyraminx, but it's non-magnetic. Then we have this 3x3 Master Morphix. And I have a 5x5 Master Morphix. This cube is really hard and super fun to solve. I like taking it on road trips, just because it's a good mind teaser sometimes, and it can take me a relatively long time to solve sometimes. So now let's get on to the rest of my non-WCA puzzles. Alright, so as you can see, we have a lot of non-WCA puzzles, so let's just put this in an order real fast. Alright, so I'm going to move through these fast just because the video is getting kind of long. So this is the Windmill Cube, and it's definitely a really fun, pretty easy 3x3 shape mod. Then we have the Pedals Cube, which is basically a Ready Cube, but it's magnetic. Super smooth, definitely recommend it, better than all Ready Cubes on the market. Then we have the new Cheese Spot Cube, which is a really easy puzzle. If you know how to solve Pyraminx, you can definitely solve this one. Then we have the Rubik's Void Cube. It doesn't turn really well, but it's definitely a fun challenge, and sometimes you can get parity, which can make it even more fun. Then, I don't remember what this is called, but this is a really hard puzzle. I've never actually solved it, except for taking it apart and putting it back together, because I didn't feel like solving it. Yeah, you can call me cheater in the comments, but I don't really care. This is a cube, and then if you turn it halfway, you can actually turn like that. Yeah, so I've never learned any algorithms for this, that's why I wasn't able to solve it, so yeah. Then we have the Mirror Cube, the world's famous Mirror Cube. Everybody knows the Mirror Cube, it's a Mirror Cube. What else is there to say? It's a Mirror Cube. Then we have the Ghost Cube, a super, guess what? It's a Ghost Cube. It's really fun, really easy. I'm just kidding, it's super difficult. No one likes the Ghost Cube because you have to off-center it and solve it like this. It's really difficult. No one likes it. It's definitely really fun though. Definitely a really good challenge. It can definitely trick you sometimes. You can put a piece wrong and there's like multiples of different pieces. Like as you can see, this piece and this piece is the exact same, except this and this is a different dimension. It sucks. Alright, moving on. Then we have the Penrose Cube. I had this cube earlier as a keychain. This is just the larger version of it. Then we have the Extremes Cube, where you have to match up these colors. Definitely a relatively easy cube. Not so much as much harder than a regular cube, but definitely a pretty fun challenge. Then we have the Fisher's Cube 3x3. Definitely also really fun and super easy. It looks really cool to impress your friends with. Then we have my modified Bandage Cube. So this is the Bandage Cube that I made with a cheese sail. Turns relatively well, but I did realize that I made it wrong, and so it's pretty much impossible to solve if you scramble it. And I don't know how to do it because there's no tutorials for this specific one. So I will never scramble it, never solve it, bye. Then we have the Barrel Ready Cube. This is the transparent version. Definitely looks really cool, turns relatively well, not the best turning, but it's pretty smooth. And it's definitely really fun, really easy to solve, just like regular Ready Cube. And then we have the 3x3x8 Oh, this cube gives me nightmares when I scramble it. I do not know how to solve it, never learned any algorithms, not gonna care. It's just really fun to mess around with sometimes, and bringing it to like school and stuff, it's really cool just to show it off to your friends. Then we have this gear or Meffert's egg. It's very clicky. It has a ball bearing mechanism. It's just another 3x3 shape mod, and it's definitely really fun. Then we have the lemon cube, the fruit cube, whatever you want to call it. Definitely a really fun puzzle, turns really well, and is definitely relatively easy because there's multiples of everything, and it's pretty easy. Then we have another mod that I made, which is a shape-shifting 3x3x2. Usually if you buy a 3x3x2, it's not usually shape-shifting, and this one is just because it's basically a 3x3, except all the pieces are actually glued to the edges, so it moves as one. Definitely a really fun puzzle. I definitely recommend you making one of these. They're pretty easy and pretty fun. Then we have the UFO cube, another 3x3 shape mod that's also really fun. Then we have my barrel cube that I made, definitely awesome. I'm really happy with how this cube turned out, and it's definitely really, really fun. Then we have this cube, I don't know what it's called, but it's basically a 5x5 with all its centers. Definitely a really cool cube just to impress your friends with because it's relatively easy. If you can solve the centers on a 5x5 or even a 4x4, then you can definitely solve this cube. Then we have the world famous Axis cube, another 3x3 shape mod that's super fun, super relatively easy, not super challenging, and overall it's just fun to mess around with. And finally, the last cube of this video, we have this Meffert's 2x2 that's off axis and has this 2x2 inside of 2x2. Never gonna solve it, never gonna learn how to solve it, don't know how to solve it, and yeah, so let's clean this up and then I'll show you my Lube collection. First, before my Lube collection, I forgot some honorable mentions. So these are just puzzles that aren't actually like Rubik's Cubes. So this one, you just move the balls around to mix it up, and then you just put them back. It's really easy, really fun, and definitely kind of easy, kind of not. This one is basically an infinity cube that can be taken in half. It's pretty cool. It looks pretty cool, but yeah, it's basically just an infinity cube. And if you don't know what an infinity cube is, you can basically just go like this, and you can just unfold and refold it over and over and over again, and then it'll just stay a cube the whole time. Then this is this Rubik's Orbit, which is basically a 2x2, but it's really weird because like this edge, as you can see, you can switch the edges colors, and it's really difficult. I have no clue how to solve it, and I probably will never learn. Then we have the Rubik's Snake, definitely kind of puzzle, not really, just kind of fun to mess around with. You can build stuff with it, and yeah. And then finally, this is this some snowflake cube that I got. So now on to the Lube. Alright, so here is all of my Lube that I have. So first up, this is not Lube, this is PVC coating cleanup. Where is that in there? Get that. Alright, then we have this GAN Magic Lube. I actually got 2 of these. This one currently isn't here because I tried not to repeat some of these. Definitely a really good puzzle. I like it on bigger cubes, and I use it because it's super cheap. I use it a lot on my non-WCA puzzles. Then we have Cubicle Labs Mystic. Then we have D&M 37, Lubical Silk. This is that Candy Cane Lube, Celeritas, more D&M 37 and Lubical Speedy, more Silk and X, and then Lubical Black, which is a core lube. So those are all my lubes, and this has been my cube collection of 2020, early 2020. And so yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. This has been my cube collection of all my cubes, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.